Hey guys, welcome back to Kari Moody. We have a few things to talk about regarding the Audrii Cunningham case. One is Steven's shocking appearance at his arraignment. The dad's family finally releases a statement, and there is a major detail about the crime scene. Let's get started. Welcome back to Kari Moody. Today is Sunday, February 25th, and this is an update on the Audrii Cunningham case. Now, Audrii she is the 11-year-old Texas girl whose body was found in a river this past week. She died from homicidal violence that included blunt head trauma. Steven McDougal, who is 42 years old and also a friend of the family, was supposed to be taking Audrii to the school bus stop the day that she disappeared. He's now being charged with capital murder. Authorities named him as a person of interest pretty early on in the investigation, but he was charged with her death after they announced that Audrii's body had been found in the Trinity River, which is a rural area north of Houston, not far from where she lived. It was about 10 miles, I believe, from her home. Audrii's family had reported her missing at about 5:30 in the afternoon on February 15th of 2024, and this is after she didn't come home from school. Investigators then discovered that she had never gotten on the bus to go to school that morning. The authorities said that she lives with her father, her grandparents, and other relatives in Livingston, near the shore of Lake Livingston. And Steven McDougal lived on the same property in a camper. The day that Audrii went missing, she left her home in his vehicle. And that is according to the complaint filed against McDougal. When Audrii was found, unfortunately, now McDougal does have quite a record. Most of it is old charges, but nonetheless, this is just not a good guy whatsoever. On February 16th, they did arrest him on an unrelated charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That was on this past Friday, and it alleges that he stabbed a man last summer, according to the complaint. Court records also show that he pleaded no contest in 2008 to 2 felonies of enticing a child and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. However, the child enticement charges were plea deals, so the original offense was plead down to enticing a child, meaning he did not have to register as an SO. Now, Steven McDougal appeared in court last Wednesday for his arraignment, and you guys have to watch this. So the officer comes in his cell to take him to the Justice of Peace so that, he can hear his charges, and Steven is naked. Let's take a watch.
We got Steven McDougal, Don McDougal. We're going to get him out to get arraigned.
As Polk County Sheriff's deputies opened the cell door, they were clearly shocked that Don McDougal, charged with the brutal murder of 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham, had taken off all his clothes.
Come on. JP wants to talk to you. Where's your clothes? Hold on.
I ain't got no clothes.
Well, put your smock on for now. Well, come on out here. Well, no, man. Come on, man. Don't disrespect me like that. All right, well, wrap up in that. Wrap up in the blanket. Come on.
McDougal, seemingly wearing a smirk on his face, walks over to the Justice of the Peace to hear the charges against him.
You have the right to remain silent and not make any statement at all, and know that any statement that you make can and will be used against you at trial in court. You have the right to have an attorney present to advise you prior to questioning. You have the right to terminate any interview at any time, and you have the right to examine your trial if you're accused of a felony. Do you understand your rights, Mr. McDougal?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want a court-appointed attorney, or you're going to hire your own?
Nope.
Which one?
I'll get an attorney.
You're going to hire your own?
Yep.
Okay. All right. All I need you to do is sign right here for me. Your charge is capital murder, and it's a no bond.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That's just insane. And at points, it even appeared like he was laughing or smirking. Here's what I think, you guys, and what I've thought all along, just based on the messages and posts that he was, sending out the night before Audrii disappeared. I feel like he was very, very messed up on meth. His messages to the different women, something we can kind of expect from many that are fueled on meth. And I also believe that that's why he did what he did. And maybe, I don't know, is he like in a meth-fueled psychosis or something? I don't know. This guy is just something else. Now, the next thing that we also learned is pretty sad, and I've known this, as many of you probably have as well. I wasn't going to put this in any video. I'm trying to be very careful here. But when Audrii was found, so they did find her backpack. Now, they've never mentioned anything about that notebook thing, but they did find Audrii's backpack, but they also found an article of clothing at the edge of the river. And this is Nancy Grace and Tim Miller with EquiSearch discussing what was found.
It was definitely clothing, and it's definitely hers. So I decided to start doing side.
Was it her pants?
Yeah.
Why
I feel like most all of us already kind of figured that something like that had occurred. Now, I don't want to place any more on this child than what is already placed on her. She deserves to be able to rest in peace, and friends and family, will hear these kind of things. So I think we need to be very careful with how and what we say regarding that situation. But yeah, not good at all. And, obviously those details will come out during his trial. Now, the final thing is that the dad's family has finally released a statement. That statement reads, 1 week ago on Thursday, the 15th of February, 2024, Audrii Danielle Cunningham was lured under false pretenses, which led to a senseless act of violence occurring and ultimately to her death. Tragically, Audrii's death occurred at the hands of a monster we thought was a friend, only 10 days after Audrii's 11th birthday. Audrii Cunningham was a charismatic, beautiful, talented, and kind young lady. She loved singing, dancing, reading, and painting. She was even learning the skills of a tattoo artist. Most of all, caring for and playing with animals was her passion. Audrii's aspirations were to become a veterinarian or an animal trainer. Every day, Audrii was out caring for our pets and walking our dogs. She would even walk the dogs of neighbors in the subdivision. She touched so many lives and filled them with joy and happiness that was infectious. She had so much energy and brought a passion to everything she did. Audrii will be missed by a great many people. The Munch and Cunningham families are devastated and grieving for what happened to our little ray of sunshine, Audrii. We are being attacked and criticized on social media platforms for showing compassion and mercy to this formerly incarcerated person. But our interactions with this person were a result of our faith, which teaches us to give our fellow man a second chance. Unfortunately, the system failed us due to a loophole in the SEX offender registration system. Don Steven McDougal had a history of disrespect for young female children, but it did not show up when we checked the registry before allowing him to stay in an old camper in our backyard while he tried to start a new life. Had we been aware of what we know now, this man would never have set foot on our property, much less been a part of our little girl's life. We wish to acknowledge and thank the Polk County Sheriff's Office, the Livingston Police Department, the Texas State Troopers, the Texas Rangers, the Texas State Guard, the Trinity River Authority, the FBI, and nearby county sheriff's departments, as well as thousands of volunteers, our local VFW post, and the public for helping to search for and ultimately find the body of Audrii. We also wish to thank the nonprofit organization Texas EquiSearch for their tireless efforts that ultimately led to the discovery of and recovery of Audrii's body from the waters of the Trinity River. This was a hard-working, multi-jurisdictional effort that spent long hours in order to bring our angel Audrii home to us and bring this monster to justice. We also wish to acknowledge and thank the members of the press who helped spread the word when the Amber Alert went out and quickly pulled our community together with the common goal of bringing our little girl back home safe and sound. This coverage was considered invaluable to help focus attention and gather valuable leads that helped the search efforts. We were advised not to speak with the press during this time, as it may have impeded the search for Audrii or shifted the focus from finding her. Audrii Danielle Cunningham will be missed, but hopefully not forgotten, as we would like to ask legislatures and law enforcement, both locally and in Washington, D.C., to look at the loophole that prevented us from knowing what Don McDougal was, a convicted SO. The SO registry is a valuable tool that parents and grandparents everywhere use to keep their children safe from these violent predators. This failing of the system is a crime that we cannot allow to go overlooked. There will be a memorial ceremony for the repose of the soul of Audrii Danielle Cunningham at the First Baptist Church in Livingston, Texas, on Friday, the 1st of March, 2024, between the hours of 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and the public who helped in this effort are invited to attend. Please wear purple, which was Audrii's favorite color. A private funeral ceremony will be held the next day for close friends and family only. Please respect our privacy as in our time of grieving as we lay our precious little angel to rest. If you wish to drop off flowers, cash, or check donations in memory of Audrii Danielle Cunningham, please contact Livingston VFW Post 8568. Proceeds exceeding funeral expenses will be donated in Audrii Cunningham's name to Texas EquiSearch up to the 2nd of March 2024. Later, donations will be expanded to include organizations that protect our children from sexual predators and organizations that assist these children and their families who experience this kind of senseless violent crime. Again, we would like to thank everyone who was involved in the search for Audrii, and we hope you do the same for others going forward. God bless you all, and God bless the children. Now, I have a few thoughts on this press release that the family put out. A lot of this seems like it may be in response to things that they saw on social media, such as the quote-unquote showing compassion and mercy to this formerly incarcerated person. So they knew about his record, even if they didn't find him on an SO registry, assuming that they truly looked, which I find kind of doubtful. But if they knew how to look at SO registry, they easily could have and would have, one would think, also looked at his full criminal record, which is very lengthy. And they also would have seen the enticement of a child charge. And while I'm sure if they knew what they know now, that they wouldn't have let him set foot on their property, much less be a part of Audrii's life. But there were enough red flags. I mean, just looking at the guy, I wouldn't associate with him. I wouldn't even bother to pull up his criminal history because he wouldn't be around me and he wouldn't be living on my property and he would not be around my children or grandchildren. They spent a lot of time with this guy. I mean, grandma took vacations with him. She's gone out to eat with them. You see pictures of him and dad at a festival. I mean, they were close. This guy wasn't just living on their property. They seem like they were pretty close with him. And then there's this post. Now, keep in mind, we don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to assume it is based on what we know now. Let's take a look at this. This was a comment left in one of the Find Audrii Facebook groups, and it says, I have a lot of insight on the family and how they generally operate because I used to live with them as a teenager. Tabitha was practically my guardian at one point. She's very mentally unstable, and there are always people in and out of that house. She is too trusting with people and would let a stranger stay in her home if her kids said it was okay. So to me, it's not surprising that this has happened. I'm not saying that they would intentionally bring harm to Audrii, but they are so reckless and careless that this isn't surprising, just truly heartbreaking. She's not romantically involved with Steven, but probably viewed him like a quote-unquote son, like every other person her kids bring home. Now, I can believe that. I really can. But, you know, there was enough that they did know that he should not have been there. And it's my opinion only that the grandmother and the father also should have some kind of charges brought upon them. My last thought on their press release here is that Audrii's funeral was already paid for. So why do they still need donations to be donated? They have a Venmo fund set up through the VFW to help bring Audrii to her final resting place. Proceeds exceeding funeral expenses will be donated to Texas EquiSearch. Later, donations will be expanded. Her funeral was already paid for, though. So why are they still trying to get donations for that? That, to me, that's fishy. I do want to mention that the Livingston Independent School District, which is the school district Audrii attended, announced last Thursday that the Audrii Cunningham Memorial Scholarship will be included in the Green and White Scholarship Ceremony held this May. They are accepting any donations to the scholarship fund through the Green and White program. Audrii loved school, so what better way to honor her memory than to help a student further their education? And it goes on to say how you can mail donations or you can call for more information. And you can find that post on Livingston Independent School District's Facebook page. It's my suggestion, you guys, if you're one that likes to donate and you're charitable like this, donate directly to the organizations. Texas EquiSearch, they're amazing, amazing, amazing. They have a website. Donate directly to them. If you want to donate something that is specific to Audrii, this memorial scholarship would also be a really good way to do that. Finally, I just want to remind everybody that Elijah View is still missing. We are on day 5. They have been searching relentlessly, and I am working on a full video. Hopefully I can have that up tonight regarding Elijah's case. With that, I appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't yet, please give the video a like. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.